Hey guys, how's it going? I hope all of you are doing great today. Check it out guys, episode 17 of our survival let's play series. We're really getting into those numbers guys. I'm having a lot of fun and I hope you are too. Anyways, in today's episode, we are going to be finishing our slime farm. And the only thing that's missing right now is a storage room, which we are going to be focusing on, as well as some redstone, guys, that's right, to get all of the slimes that we are farming at bedrock level all the way up to the storage room, which we are going to be building. So yeah, I hope you're excited for that, guys, and I hope you're ready. And if you're not, you know what to do. Grab your popcorn and grab your favorite designated beverage. And I guess let's get this episode started. Alright guys, we are back again at the slime farm. We pretty much picked up right where we left the previous episode off and started building the automatic minecart item collection system. Gosh, that sounds fancy, doesn't it? Basically what we did was place down a minecart track beneath the magma blocks. Well, so we first of all had to remove them in order to do that, I guess. And then what we did, we sent a hopper minecart on its way to collect all of the drops from the farm. And for those who didn't know, a little side note, hopper minecarts actually pick up items which are a full block above them. I guess this makes this system a great candidate for us, because the minecarts won't interfere with any of the slimes on the farm and mess up the tracks or something like that. This part wasn't really that complicated to build, I guess, but it did take a lot longer than I expected. And I think that has to do with all of the slime spawning and running over to me and I guess pretty much trying to murder me all the time. It was quite annoying, guys, but hey, it does make good footage in the time-lapse, or I don't know, you'll have to let me know. Anyways, we placed down a minecart unloading station, or two of them to be exact, and connected it to a double chest for now. So once we have the layout of our storage system put down, we can then build the item elevators to bring up all of the items to our chests. Once that part was complete, the farm was, I guess, already up and running and collecting us resources. So while that was happening, I decided to focus on the storage area. What I wanted to do here was basically gather some inspiration from our cave that we're building on our island and pretty much extend the theme here as well, but also mix it up a bit. After the Haste 2 beacon was set up again and a good chunk of the wall was dug out, it was time to start on some building. Finally guys, right? We started off with a very organic looking Nether Portal, and I tried to hide the rectangular shape of the portal as best as I could and wanted to make the obsidian look like it's spreading through the stone, as if it's sort of, I guess, digging its way through the rock and trying to find a path to spread all over the area. I don't know, that's what I was going for. I think in the end it turned out pretty well, and you can't really see the rectangle of the portal in the build anymore, which I guess is a huge plus point. This was also the point where we started off with the theme of the build, and what I wanted to do was continue with the spruce block palette that we have going on in our cave, but then build on that and include some slime blocks into the palette. My idea was to make the walls look gooey, I guess if you can call it that, as if the slime was, yeah, I guess dripping from them. And I have to say, it didn't really work out that well in the end, since the blocks are, yeah, way too blockish. I don't know how else I should say it, but I think they're a lot more solid rather than a liquid. But yeah, I still like how it turned out in the end. I guess this is a great example of something turning out completely different than how you plan it would. But if you stick with it and work with it and try to transform it a little more, it still turns out good, if not better, as you actually planned it originally. After a bit of creative building and experimenting with the block palette, we laid out the design for the item elevators. At first I tried putting one large item elevator right in the center of the build, but I ran into two problems while doing that. The first one was that the room is an even number of blocks wide, which wasn't really the end of the world. We just would have had to make the elevator 4 wide. But the main issue, which was bugging me a lot here, was that it would block the great view that we would have from the farm when we come out of the Nether Portal. So I then opted for 2 item elevators, 1 on each side, which I guess means more redstone for us to do, but I think that fits the design a lot better than having a huge tube in the center blocking our view. Anyways, after we put down the item elevators and also placed down the chests in which we are going to be storing the slime in, it was time to go all the way back down to our unloading stations and start on the redstone of today's project. So the redstone wasn't really too complicated today. The only thing that we needed were 4 dropper mechanisms, 2 on each side, one which takes the items out of the hopper minecart, drops them onto an ice track, and then another one which picks them up and dispenses them into the item elevator. Simple enough, I guess, right? I opted for an ice track here rather than a chain of hoppers because, well, it's way cheaper to use ice rather than all of that iron which we would need to craft all of those hoppers. I know we do have an iron farm, guys, but we aren't nearly producing that much iron for us just to throw away like that. We also have to keep in mind we have 4 beacons back at our base, and only one of them is a full beacon as of now, so we still have quite a bit of iron collecting to do so that we can fill up all of those beacons and have all of those beacon effects at our base. When building the item elevator, I decided to replace all of the blocks through which the items travel with glass. I know this isn't really necessary. I could have just left the blocks which are there now, but I didn't have any way of knowing that there wasn't an air pocket or a cave or something like that in the way of the elevator that we're building. At least while I was recording this, I didn't really have the spectator view which I have right now. So to make sure that the items have a clear path to go all the way up to our storage system, I pretty much pillared up all the way through the item elevator and replaced the blocks beneath me just to make sure that all of the blocks were solid in the tube that we're building. And also, I guess in the end it makes some pretty cool footage for the time lapse. Anyways, once that was complete, all that had to be done was mirror the design on the other side of the other elevator, and to hook up the droppers with the ice track, of course. In the end, it's some simple redstone, I guess, but there was a lot of planning which has to go into this if you're making a time lapse, because you don't really want to keep running back and forth just to collect another comparator or something else if you forget something. It really doesn't make some good footage, so yeah, it did take quite a while just to plan this. Anyways, after the redstone was done and the slimes were arriving in the chests at the top, all that had to be done was complete these storage systems that we've been working on, and of course, I guess make everything look pretty. So yeah, that was basically what I was up to today. And for the next episode, I guess I already have a small plan of what I want to do. I want to find a solution to where we can store all of the stone and cobble that we've collected from, I guess, digging out all of these areas that we've been working on, like the slime farm and the guardian farm. And my thoughts here were to perhaps build a separate storage area for all of the bulk items that we're collecting, like sand, stone, and cobble, and some other stuff, and place that thing somewhere away from our cave, perhaps on the top of our island. I don't know, I think this would give us an incentive to perhaps work on the top of the island again, which we haven't been doing too much, and yeah, also just build some sweet structures above ground rather than huddle ourselves into a cave like we've been doing right now. But those are just my thoughts, guys. I would love to hear what you think. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it from me. It is getting a little late here, and I think the time lapse is pretty much done now. So if you liked the video, remember to smash the like button, guys. It really does mean a lot to me. But without further ado, I guess it's time for you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video.